Okay, so let's look at question 51. So again, we're given our garden fertilizer is packed into plastic bags. We're told the net weights of the bags follow normal distribution. We are given the mean weight and we're given the standard deviation. And we're asked to show that the 20th percentile of the distribution is either A, B, C, or D. So first off, we need to just understand what we mean by a percentile. So you're generally going to hear about percentiles, like you might have heard of them when they're talking about things like IQs. So if you say, someone says, oh, this person is in the 90th percentile, their IQ is in the 90th percentile, it means that 90% of the population have an IQ below that value. So it's the percentage that represents the value, the percentage of people who fall below that amount. So for example, if you're looking for the 20th percentile, you want the 20th percentile is the value, so the weight of your bag, in which 20% of the weights fall below that amount. So the 20th percentile is this area here. So if you take your normal distribution curve as 100%, so it represents your total population, you're looking for, or you're told, you're looking for the value, the weight, which 20% of your population will have a weight lower than that value. So here we're told the probability of x less than, x is equal to 0.2. So in this question, they are asking you to find the weight in which 20% of the population will have a weight that's lower than that value. So you're looking for this value of x. Okay, so how to do that? Well, in this case, we are given the area under the curve. So we're given our probability, and you need to work to find x. So we're always using the same formula in this case. So we're looking for z is equal to x minus mu divided by your standard deviation. And you're looking to find x, your data point this time. So just rearranging that equation will give us cross multiply here. So z times your standard deviation plus your mean is equal to your value of x. So to find x, to find our weight, we need to know three values. We need to know z, which is the number of standard deviations our value of x is from the mean. We need to know our mean, which we are given in our question as 1.55. And we need to know our standard deviation, which we're also given in the question as 0.05. Okay, so I have my formula. I can see that in order to find my value of x, so in order to find this value of x, I first need to find the corresponding z value. So before we substitute into our equation, let us try and find z. Okay, so how do we find z? Well, we're given a probability, so we're going to use our z tables. So we are told, we are given the probability where x is less than some value of x is 0.2. And you want the corresponding z score. So what do we know about this? Well, I know that my value of x is to the left of my mean, and therefore the z-score that I'm trying to find will be negative. And our log tables, or our z-score tables, only tell us the probabilities of positive z-scores. So we have to convert our negative z-score into its corresponding positive z-score. So if we know that the z that we are looking for is equal to probability z is less than some value of x is equal to 0.2. If I know that, then I also know that the probability where x is greater than x is equal to 0.2 also. So we're going to try and find this z-score. Now we know that our z-score tables only tell you the probability which is below a certain value, so we are actually looking for, if this represents 1.2 here, or sorry, 0.2, then 1 minus 0.2, the remainder of the area under the curve is 0.8. This is 0.8. Here. So you are looking for the z-score, where the probability of, what is the z-score, where the probability of x is less than x and equal to 0.8. So you're looking for what is the z-score that gives you a probability under the curve of 0.8. So what is the z-score which gives a probability under the curve of 0.8. Okay, so we just go to our log tables for this, or your z-score tables for this, and you find the closest value to 0.8. So always the closest one. So 0.8, the closest one here is reading for a z-score of 0.84. Okay, so for a z-score, its probability when z is less than 0.84 is equal to 0.8. Okay, so the z-score that gives you a probability of less than 0.84 is 0.8. So that means the z-score we're looking for, z-score that we find is 0.84. Remember that the z-score that we're looking for is the negative of that value. If this is 0.84, the z-score that we want is minus 0.84. Okay, so now that we find the z-score, we can just substitute them into our formula and find what x is. So just coming back up here. So I now know that z is equal to minus 0.84. So finding our weight, substitute these values into our equation. 0.84. Should have made 0 on there, shouldn't I? Minus 0.84 times 0.05 plus 1.55 is equal to x. Okay, and just multiply that all together now. 0.84, oh sorry, minus 0.84 times 0.05 plus 1.55. okay, which gives you a weight of 1.508. And if we go back to the question, we should see one of those. Which they are given as C, but I think it's D. And I will double check that.